From the middle of the 15th century until the advent of the computer some 500 years later, printing was a highly skilled and labour-intensive process. Here at the John Jarrold Print Museum is a window on the many hours and variety of skills that were involved in printing before they were made obsolete by advancing technology.
Jarolds were printers in Suffolk, somewhere in Woodbridge or a place called Dallinghu. They were farmers as well, and when the repeal of the Corn Laws, farming was a less good business to be in. So they started printing, and they were publishers and booksellers and stationers. And we came to Norwich in 1823 with all those businesses, and they were all located where the present Jarrold store is.
Well, I started at Jarrold when I was 15 in 1957. I had a 6-year apprenticeship, and the 6 years involved working in the lithographic section. This is a lithographic stone. It's limestone, very, very porous. And when I put the water on, it's accepted by the non-image area and rejected by the image area, which is greasy. I'm now inking the image up. The ink is oily, pigment suspended in oil, so the ink will adhere to the image area and be rejected by the water. I'll roll this cylinder along and lower it onto the image. The image will transfer from the stone onto the blanket, then put it onto the paper.
The museum opened in 1982 in memory of John Jarrold, who was a foremost printer of his day. He was introducing colour printing experiments. Early on in 1948 he started where he developed from 35mm film. He put Jarrold printing in the forefront of colour printing. Everybody knows about upper and lower case. Well, that actually comes from us, because the two cases of type, the lower case was on the bottom and the upper case was at the top, so that's where that term comes from.
Well, I came to Jarrold Printing in 1964. I was here for just over 16 years. Started off in the estimating for about a month, and then when you find your way around, I did the order clerking job, and then eventually finished up in the sales office. This is a Heidelberg press, a Heidelberg Platen, and built in Germany. It came into Jarrold's in about 1934, and it was in use until the mid-60s. And then letterpress was dying out then, and lithography was taking over. And I think this particular press finished its working life in the design department, where they took proofs of illustrations that they were going to make up into catalogues and things.
I'm very proud of the museum indeed, yes. It's because it's so easy today to do printing of any sort, colour printing on computers, and people do not understand all the complexity of how printing developed over, well, our time.
A small glimpse today into the history behind another of Norwich's old trades. There's no doubt that this wonderful museum here keeps alive the heritage of the past in order for us to better understand the impact of future technical developments.